Yo, what's up, you guys? What's up, man? Alright, so, the Lugius was saying, everybody doing DK, is it really the only good option for the start? The thing is, like, it is probably not only the good option, but it's a really, really good option because it is targetable. The set that you can go for at the very end, at least the Krieg set, the Aether DK set. You could definitely play it as like Metal Mage as well. Since like Arcanist is my favorite, I would actually play it Battle Mage on my hardcore, and I will most likely at some point. So for YouTube, we are going to be I'll be playing softcore for the first time, simply because I want to have a fresh account. I have absolutely nothing, no blueprints even, in softcore. So when we open a softcore character, I'll absolutely have nothing in the bank. And it will be the first character ever for me actually in Groomed on in softcore. But we will go ahead and like do like a Deathknight experience. Normally I would most likely just like theorycraft the build beforehand, and then jump into it and then use like the fastest leveling option that I could come up with. But this time we're gonna use just a soldier because like it's a little bit easier to transition from that. We go veteran as well, why not? People are asking like, why don't you play on veteran? So I think a new player should definitely be playing on veteran. It's really, really more teaching, and when it comes to like transition from like veteran to elite, it's a lot smoother. Like your character will most likely be prepared for sure. Did I update like my... I think so. Alright, let's get it. Some zombies here and there. I'm guessing like our attacks are pretty low right now. I'm not gonna kill any. Yeah, it would take too long. Instead, let's pillage Francis' body. We actually need like... a good two-hander. The very start. So that like we can spam the force wave. If you think about it, like we're gonna need to get to the transmuter anyways. So just gonna level like this at the start, I think. And we'll most likely be going like full physique. Like, if you're not familiar with the stat distribution in this game, physique usually like outvalues the other things, but it's extremely easy to do, like respec anyways. Really need to kill them all. I do need to loot that blunderbuss though. Let's get the notes. That was a great sword at the start of the game that I missed, apparently. Rest in peace, great sword. You'll be remembered. I think we're in good hands, don't worry. Let's get some crystals. It's okay. Where did I skip it, Protoss? It's on the opposite side from the gun house. This is actually like somehow something that I don't know of. So it's like a reliable drop, isn't it? That's pretty cool. I actually want that potion. Yeah, same as the gun. I see. We can check it out. Let's see like how this performs. It might actually be just a little bit better because it's AoE. Probably single target's a little bit worse. Let's kick the Constitution in there. How about you give me that two-hander, then we don't need to turn back for the lightning sword. It is. It's going to be a massive boost. We have a helm also that I could use. Now, if you're not familiar with the Force Wave, in my opinion, it's the better leveling option for the soldier, obviously. And it's spammable, basically, because like you have a two-hander on, you know, afterwards you're giving the transmuter of it. I just want my bits. Alright. Go back to crossing. We have only 4 crystals. That's not enough. So with the devotions, I think we're gonna need to go something like... not only like physical and trauma, but at the same time... probably... going towards the right colors as well. I would like to do at least. So like Falcon is an option. Falcon is maybe even the only option at the start. I think I'm gonna go for the Falcon. From the Falcon I don't necessarily know where to go though. We're gonna need to check it out a little bit. Maybe I'll alt tab and check out on the Groom tools later on. We'll see. There you have it. Apparently he was only requesting 4, not 5. Sure. I'm guessing we're gonna have some sort of like a energy problem as well, just a tiny bit at least. So maybe we don't necessarily need to like max it out, the force wave that is. Because like it will probably like regardless one-shot everything. It's going to be pretty strong for maybe like at the very end of like Act 2 or something. Till then, you should reliably one-shot everything. Let's see, it doesn't necessarily matter if you're playing on veteran or not. Because like if you think about it, basically, this is a cap of like 16 points into it. And that is sort of balanced for very late game, even like level 100. But you're rushing it at the very beginning, so gives you that edge. One thing that is really cool about Grim Dawn is that like once you get used to it, you can reliably like dodge enemy attacks. Let's close seeing the white items from now on. We need to find some Slith necklaces, 3 of them. They're giving you the first resistance ring, which definitely helps a big time. I'm guessing the components that we're going to be finding, they're kind of like a must to pick up also, since we have an empty account at this point. To my experience, like when it comes to the resistances in Grim Dawn, like every single one of them is pretty important, but like especially in Act 1, you will need, for the most part, elemental resistances just a tiny bit. I'm going to be dropping a portal here. I'll come back to this when I have the last Slith necklace. From like Act 2 start, I would say Bleed and Pierce is becoming really important as well. And when you're about to like reach Homestead, poison becomes extremely important too. Let's do it another way. Let's go from here. Go kill the Milton Hearts over here. Yeah, I wanted to see my damage versus this guy before putting more points into Force Wave. I think we do need more points. It's also because like my weapon is probably not so great. I'll continue looking at the yellow items for quite some time to come, especially because like we will most likely need a better weapon quite often at the very start of the game. Need to upgrade it like quite frequently. This guy's just shaking it off. Those are actually not so bad gloves for me. The thing about like the Force Wave is that it is quite confusing, but Force Wave is actually a cast rather than an attack. The easiest way to like determine if your main ability or if an ability is using attack or a cast speed is basically just to look if you're hitting your opponent with your weapon. If you're literally hitting your opponent with your weapon, it's an attack speed. It's the first time I had to use a potion here. Negan We're kind of mean, bro. But we have found a tainted brain matter out of him. I'll take it. That's a pretty good upgrade as well. And our gloves are giving us like 9% cast speed increase right now. That's pretty good. When it comes to gearing up, it's been some time that I didn't necessarily like play veteran. When you get used to the game, what it becomes is that it becomes like a chore, so to say, because you have normal, then you have elites, then you have ultimates. When you want a new character, then you're gonna need to play through them all, and you know, you don't necessarily want to be playing the same thing over and over again and make it even longer by switching to veteran. But as I talked about it like before, it is definitely, in my opinion, a must for a new player. Otherwise, you will just like hit your head to a brick of wall at the very end of normal, and things are getting hard. You will be like, holy shit, my character sucks. That's basically because like there's bigger jumps. But once you experience them, once you know what you're doing, for the most part, you don't necessarily need to play on veteran anymore, because like once you swap to elite, there won't be any more veterans, so what's the point? But that being said though, like I'm expecting us to have like really good gear, because if I'm not mistaken, veteran is giving quite a lot of like more spawns, right? How many necklaces we have? We have 4 necklaces. I have a portal up, but just gonna TP back to my portal. That's going to be our first resistance, other than lightning, apparently. %10 resistance, a little bit of energy regeneration as well. That's sweet at the very start. Those pants are cursed. Do we have the scraps, you guys? No, not really. Let's continue then. Once I have the scraps, I think I'm going to turn back. Stills Crossing. Or the Barnabas quest. So there's going to be an NPC to save somewhere here. We're kind of lucky because he was on the first spot. Maybe we can like start limiting grabbing all the yellows. I don't necessarily know like how important the iron bits are going to be for me at the very start of the game. I do see myself crafting some stuff to make things a lot easier. Guys, can somebody write exclamation DK in the chat? Thanks, Kitson. Let's go this way. Yes, Mohan. That is like Sunder? Yes. Force Wave is sort of like a Sunder spell. that cast speed. Can we hand in this? Pasha is saying hardcore is better content. I won't die, don't worry. We actually found some shoulder plates. That's insane. For some reason he's refusing to like pick them up. So I'm guessing we cannot use them yet. Yeah, level 11. Do they have resistance as well? That's not so bad. Physical damage, offensive ability, poison resistance. That's alright. I don't necessarily care about like these yellows over here. I think we're out of here. We have like 2 devotion points that we can spend. Physical damage, HP and offensive ability from the Falcon. I'm kind of curious about our timing when we complete the Act 1, because I've been like playing it rather slow. Checking out a lot of items. Normally you don't necessarily need to. Makes me curious. Oh yeah, the second class. There's a lot that we can gain from Soldier right now, so not necessarily going to be rushing this one now. I think it's a little bit better to just like TP back to this place and run from here since we want the cave. How many scraps do we have? We have 3 scraps so far. I think Barnabas is asking like 4 or 5 of them. I'm actually not sure. Let's get that blitz. Let's see what the next says. 20 cunning. That's interesting. Fair enough. How many crystals do we have, you guys? We have 2 crystals. We again need to do some peasantry and like collect crystals in the Warden's lab, I feel like. And which item of mine I don't really like? Necklace, another ring, and shoulder pads that requires level 11. The next level we're gonna have those. How's it going, Kite? Oh, that's heavy. We need to take care of like this guy right over here. Brother, I wonder if I can like take more. He has some sort of like a blink ability. If you actually like pay attention to the guy, like when he disappears, he's using a Shadow Strike. When he disappears, you can like just sidestep it. And then you won't take the damage from it. We need just a little bit more like fire resistance after fighting this fight. It is quite apparent. Taking too much damage from fire. The demonic Soul Blade. Is that a two-hander or a one-hander? I think that's a one-hander. So what we could do... 11 is good though. What we could do is like we can kill the elite over here and then turn back. And return some quests in. That's gonna give us a power spike. Go. Bounds ointments. Blood bounds. Chaos resistance potion. That's going to be coming really handy, in fact. That's cool. We should probably, like, if I can actually, like, upgrade my weapon, you guys, we should probably start using some sort of, like, a component for it also. If I have found, like, any clothes or something. Not really. It seems like we couldn't find one yet. That sucks. Short sword. Okay. Let's go back to those questing. We have completed quite a lot of quests. I wish we had like scraps also. We have actually like 6 scraps. It's quite cool. Very good. Sure. Increases armor absorption. Yeah, one of these quests were like giving scraps as well in return. Something that I don't remember. So we saved Milton Hart, which should give me a necklace, isn't it? This woman right here. 5% HP from that. A little bit of regen as well. So the Barnabas quest. We could also check like 2-handers from this guy. Physical damage conversion to vitality. If it's possible, I would like to get just physical. Like this one is not so bad. How much are they? 950? That's nothing. This one's like for level 12. And it requires 16,000. Physical damage to acid. Yeah, try to stay away from conversions for the most part, I think. We're gonna go with the defensive ability here, I think. Alright, let's do the slit mine. It's gonna give me also like 1 more devotion point. Thanks for the follows, guys. Yeah, this is gonna make a massive difference. I think to make this game a lot easier on us, like we kinda need to keep the weapon upgraded at all times. You know, that is also why at the very beginning of this I said like I would have probably leveled up as Necromancer with the skeletons. If this was a character that I was like trying to optimize and get to level 94 as soon as possible. Because then you don't necessarily need to worry about upgrading your weapon, the skeletons will just do it for you. Every single level they will get stronger. So you don't necessarily need to like optimize it so much. They do drop off a little bit, but it takes up to like level 80 or something to drop off, so it's insane. So how's our resistances, you guys? 10, 10, 35? This is pretty cool. We managed to like complete a Frozen Hearts already. It's going to be needed at the Act 2. I wonder like if 6 Wash was the recipe. Probably not. What's our poison resistance? 6%. Hey, that is our second ring. That helps. I'll pick up everything for like some gold also. Iron bits. Alright, the next devotion is giving me more physical damage. The next one is the important one. The thing is, like, I kind of want to give something that's going to give me a little bit of, like, all resistance. That's going to make the game a lot easier. Normally, I'll play some sort of, like, a elemental character, so you can go for, like, Elemental Storm, and that way you're going to have some, like, resistances here and there. We could go for, like, Sailor Guide for the movement speed as well. That would be really cool. I still didn't decide where we are going after the Falcon, so... Sure, I guess. Oh look, I made a mistake by forgetting my portal over there. We're gonna need to run from here once again. Normally what I do is basically I take the Barwich Village portal and then I TP back, but in this case, since there was like so many items, that kind of forced me to like come back on the floor. If you remember, there was like a bunch of items over there after killing those 2 elites. The greed got the best out of me, best of me, let's say. Smash there. I am gonna loot that pack. Well, we can also go for Ulgrim, Mystic Cook. There it is. I want the Iron Beds at the start. Alright, let's go for Ulgrim right over here. It's not so bad. I actually did not pay attention to like how much reputation you're gaining from quests like these. It is quite relevant in my opinion to do like every single quest, especially on your first character, which we skipped 2 quests so far, by the way. One of them is the cave and the other one is saving a guy right outside Devil's Crossing. I should have definitely saved them because like we were really close to him. It's just something that I don't necessarily do. So it's pretty much like muscle memory. Skipping him. Should have definitely hit him up there. I actually want to learn like how much reputation he's giving, so I might in fact like just go and do it right now. We'll see. Yeah, let's go do it. It's okay. Maybe even like walking back from the next one might be a little bit easier. I'm not really sure. It's like someone along the coastline. Somewhere there. Because in my opinion, like having the Devil's Crossing reputation as high as possible is going to help us out. This is the guy that I was talking about. There we go. I actually want to pay attention to like how much reputation this is going to give me now. And decide if this was worth or not. Valdez. 50. And saving this guy, Ulgrim, was 250. So it is kind of questionable, I suppose. It is alright to skip him, in my opinion, in my playthroughs. It's fine. Even the experience that he has given, it's quite underwhelming. Alright, let's finish Act 1 here without breaks. Protest the same poor Valdez. Valdez should like make better connections and give us more reputation, man. It's rather underwhelming. So, if you're really trying hard, which you should be in my opinion for your first playthrough, and especially on a veteran difficulty as a new player, you should be hitting like one-shot chests. One-shot chests in this game basically means that they're only there for once for that character. Every single difficulty also. So there's one in this place. This place is not necessarily the easiest place to hit in, especially in veteran. Definitely not. It might actually get really tricky. And also the poison water on the floor is actually rather annoying as well. But it is definitely doable. Yo, what's up, Haz? Welcome, bro. We are making a fresh start DK content for YouTube. Yeah, the Ancient Heart drop is really big here. That's insane. And this is going to be the one-shot, the Monster Horde. So, if you think that like you need some backup from the items, that's probably because you haven't been hitting these spots. Normally I hit them on my ultimate playthrough, and till ultimate I kind of like skip unless they're exactly on the path. And this time we were kind of unlucky with the drops, I suppose. It's a little bit better than what we're using. No cast speed. Do I prefer the cast speed over this? Probably. Armor is better as well. This is an okayish boost though. Let's continue. You can find the fabric here, but it's gonna take you a while to like get the quest of this. It is heavily gated by the reputation. So I think like we're gonna carry the fabric around. When you don't have the quest, it's a little bit harder to find the fabric because like they're not marked on your map. The chests that are, you know, supposed to drop the fabric, that is. A Mole of the Void, let's pick it up. Maybe it's better than mine, I'm not sure. I think I'm also, as I said, like gonna do some peasantry with the Aether crystals. I collect every single one of them. This should drop one. It is. Yeah, we should try and get like as many scraps as possible for the sake of optimizing the character better. How many fabrics so far, guys? 3? We're good. Movement speed, right there. Not really. So, my second ring was giving me offensive ability and cast speed and chaos resistance. Not bad at all. That's actually quite lucky job. Give that one as well. The next devotion point is really close, like right around the corner over there. Let's hope the road is open. The road is closed. We're gonna need to go underneath. No matter. Right over here, there's usually a dynamite spawn, so I like that too. A Slethbane. What might you pay? It's an acid physical, level 17, a ridiculous 200 upgrade for us. That is pretty good. But my dynamite is not there, you guys. After finding this Slethbane, I'm actually considering to close close the yellow drops at this point. If you pay attention, they're costing me a lot of time. We're losing a lot of time because of checking the yellows. And looting them, of course. So, I think from this moment and onward, like, we are going to be checking only the greens. See you, Protoss. It's a big one. Gimme. Band of the Wolf. Especially after putting together this Falcon, and on top of that, this is actually not too bad. Let me put it here so you can see as well. Probably my camera is on top of it. I think we're going to be using this over that, basically because poison resistance. Let's go then. Welcome. Resistances are pretty important at the start. I'm trying to like... There's going to be one more devotion point that we can take really soon. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the Sadier's Guide next, which is giving just a tiny bit of like physical resistance, movement speed, a little bit of like resistances here and there as well. I think it was like pierce resistance or something, which is not so bad at all. We do need the movement speed right now by just judging from this. Sweet, I suppose. Crit, bleed, attack damage converted to HP. What else? Offensive ability as well. Let's start using this. If I can somehow, like, since we have like a good belt at this point, if I can somehow create an anti-venom cell, we definitely should for it. I usually put an anti-venom salve on top of the belts while leveling, so... That side is blocked. Copper bend. What about the boots? Movement speed, 5% movement speed, some elemental damage, and elemental resistances. They're definitely better than what we're working with right now. I'm gonna drop the yellows that we have. It's okay. The Furies are hitting hard, it's funny. 15. If you're really scared, you can take a point or two into the Menhir as well. At this point, since we are using a two-hander, you will be able to proc that still. You don't necessarily need a shield for it. And our damage is really up there. That being said, like, we need to hit level 17, then our damage is just gonna skyrocket for about like a 10 level period or something, most probably. That Slith Bane drop was like really, really healthy. Quite lucky. Oh, that's an interesting ring as well. Let me see what that is. Elemental resistances. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a weird layout. That side usually is closed, so. There's a lot of like hidden places, especially in the place that we're in right now. There's a lot of like chests. There's actually a one-shot chest as well. I think I do feel comfortable right now. Like, I'm not going to be hitting them. Not every spot. Not that I know every spot either. Like, definitely not. Poison bleed and pierce resistance. The new boost that just dropped there, quite good. But I don't have movement speed. I don't necessarily know if I want to try hard that much. I don't think we need to. Should be fine. Especially if I can craft an Antivenom Salvage, we will be okay with the poison resistance, guys. Yeah, one zombie explosion is hitting way too hard on me right now. It's 10% fire resistance. So I've been thinking about like what we should be going for after maxing out the Force Wave. Like I'm thinking, is Trauma better than Oleron's Range, the exclusive aura that we could go for? I am honestly not sure. I think we will take the Trauma as well. Should definitely help me out with like single targets. That's gonna delay like how fast we can get to Oleron's Rage. Chances are the Oleron's Rage is not going to be even like in our build at the very end, or like maybe from the midway, but it doesn't matter. It's incredibly easy to respec in Grim Dawn, anything, pretty much. Obviously, other than like repicking your mastery, that's not possible. We should definitely try and hit level 17 before fighting the Warden, guys. So we have like our new weapon. Should make the fight a lot easier on me. And if we have like any item that gives a little bit of like Aether resistance, we will use that as well, just for the fight. Just a little note about like this camera rotation. It is something that most people are, you know, hesitant to get used to, but like once you're used to it, it's incredibly helpful, especially for playing it fast. Basically because you can see the corners of the screen more than, you know, the sides. So therefore you'll be able to like blitz a lot further away all the time. And it's obviously like a lot easier to play when monsters are like at the top of your screen rather than the bottom side of it. Some enemies, they don't have any knockback or like stun resistance at all. These little cute floating eyeballs are one of them, so you can like utilize your blitz to knock them out pretty much. No, Smithy, just a rotation. Man, these boots are so good. Like, I wish they had just a tiny bit of like movement speed on them. It's kind of making me sad. There's so much resistance on them. We don't necessarily have any quests to like turn in to get like an experience boost or anything to like level 17. We have like one paper to read. So I guess I'm just gonna go in, honestly. Just gonna fight him, see what's up. Gonna like quickly check. Gonna like quickly check if we have any item whatsoever that gives me just a tiny bit of like Aether resistance. In that case, I would use it 100%. Seems like not really. This is like a massive upgrade though for the gloves. Yeah, no Aether resistance. We're gonna go blind here. Let's get it. Hopefully we're gonna get like some really good drops. Nice damage, Warden. We never truly can kill him. The guardsman. I like it. Another tainted brain matter. There's ridiculous drops right now. And that's going to be the Act 1. How many minutes? We are on 50 minutes. We wasted about, give or take, 18 minutes. Maybe even more. Usually it takes me about like 28 minutes, which is rather okay. To 32 minutes, I would say. These are quite questionable as well. I suppose we kind of need to use these, especially if I can craft Antivenom cells. I need to check if I can craft Antivenom cells. I don't necessarily like these. Not really. I actually don't like that one either, so far. Not so great drops, even though we found like 3 blues from Warden. His room, there's nothing good. I'm checking if we have like any component that we can put onto weapons so far. There's like cold, lightning and stuff like that, but I don't see anything that is physical. That's kind of bad. Hopefully we'll get it sometime soon. You can also buy these medals at this point for like some increased experience gain. I would definitely buy them if they give like experience boost, but I mean just one more useful stat than experience boost. Otherwise, never mind it, I think. We have like 15 scraps. How many scraps do we need to like open the gates and the bridge? And to Venom Cell, we can in fact craft one of them. I will. For sure. We can in fact use the new weapon dropped us on the floor. See if we can enter the Act 2. It was only 6 of them and 3k bits. That's manageable. When it comes to like your HP, you want to be keeping it, but like 100 times more than your level. So in this case we are 17, that would make it like 1700 HP. So we're sitting on like 2k. That's fine. That's okay. So if it's lower than 1700 my HP, that is, then it's a little bit repair. Definitely, you're really squishy in that case. Yeah, that guy was not resistant now, is it? Remember what I said about like Act 2? Now comes Pierce and Bleed. So 6 watch would be like a really, really good and handy craft for me. I don't necessarily know if I can craft it. But that being said, like we don't necessarily have like good chest, pants, or shoulders either. So I can continue searching it a bit more. Protoss is saying, just kidding, I'm still here. How's our reputation after all that? Middle of friendly. I'll drop a portal there, guys. We're gonna come back to it after taking the waypoint, so we don't need to run too much. It is kind of important that you say what you have to say, but make it quick to this guy. Then you say you're sorry, you rushed judgment. That kind of shapes what, well, I mean, in the first place, if he's going to be an NPC in Homestead, and the second is what he's selling. It's kind of able to sell ointments and stuff, so but, pretty good. It's just pull. I'm sure it will be fine. This is a mantle, actually. It's funny. Oh look, it's the soiled trousers. Isn't this the one that is like giving you throw feces ability? Yeah. We have like 2 available devotion points. We can actually like take away 1 more from there and then like commit into Sailor's Guide. That being said, I still am not necessarily sure like what to give when it comes to like physical damage. I have really limited experience with like physical damage in this game and playing it. But we should go for Kraken. Like as soon as possible, Kraken is gonna carry us for sure, with the damage at least. So Kraken requires like blue. It will pay most of the blue back, and it also requires a little bit more green than what I have. Something like Hulk isn't so bad, but we can also go for a little bit more like expensive rounds with the Toad. Only like 4 points instead of 3, which will still give me the greens that I need, but in return I'll have some like life regen. Kraken is crazy damage for 2-handers. Yes, it is. It's very early on into the game. It is insane. Sailor and get the blue for the Kraken. Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. Falcon, Hulk and Kendall, and Eel into Kraken, says Protoss. That is probably the cheapest way. Protoss, what Protoss is suggesting. Eel isn't necessarily, I mean, sorry, not Eel. Kendall isn't necessarily so bad either. What Kendall does is it gives you just a tiny bit of like defensive ability and elemental resistance that makes a big difference at the start of the game, in fact. And just a tiny bit of like elemental damage flat and energy regeneration as well. So I'm going in between Toad and Candle, but I think I'm gonna go with the Candle here. Instead of the Eel, we will definitely go with the Sailor. So in my opinion, Sailor's Guide is like massive for a leveling character. It is really, really strong. So normally I don't do this, but in this run we will. Since we are playing on Veteran, we might as well. There's a one-shot chest here as well. So we're gonna go kill this guy over here and loot everything he owns. Nice crossbow there. A massacre. The offensive ability on it. Sylphbane is a little bit more defensive, I would say. Apparently it also dishes out more damage too. The thing is 10% chance to deal 141% more physical damage. It's pretty big. at this level at least, it's really, really big. The Void Blade. What's up with these like weapon drops, you guys? Chilled Steel. Alright, so this must be it. We can go back to Devil's Crossing at this point. Get the ring from our good old crazy guy with his family. Remember, we are still looking for some sort of like a good item, either chests, pants or shoulders. I'm gonna go ahead and like craft the 6 watch if I can, definitely. I think I'm selling you. You too. I would much rather run something that is like resistance. I think we'll be fine with the elemental resistances at this point. What about this? We sell it too. Alright, it's decided. Still only experience gain on this medal. And then there's nothing over there. Oops. Hey! Apparently friendly is enough. That is something that I didn't know. That is so good. Okay, this is really cool. I actually thought you actually needed respected for this. This is my bad. So that gives me a good chess piece for level 20. But it is still okay. It's playable. Like if you compare these two, I have like a really high armor, defensibility, really high HP, a little bit of like resistances as well. Let's try to find like a 6 watch for this. 6 watch will require resilient plating. Resilient plating requires a battered shell. Is that even something craftable? It is, but it is really expensive. I would rather like complete that some other way. Yeah, we are not crafting it, not right now. That is really expensive, guys. Never mind it for now. Oops. Can I survive? Probably. One last thing. we forgot to do in town is that like we could have definitely respect out of 1 point, I think, in the crossroad, that is. Give it to like Kendall or something. We should do that at some points. Playing greedy with your like devotions at the very beginning definitely gives you like the highest impact from them. And some royal jellies at one point. Collected 2 so far, only. Double dynamite him. That could actually be like one more. Gonna check it out on the bottom side over here. One of them enemies can drop it. Skirmisher, maybe? No? Never mind. It's a good thing to like check the enemy levels, guys, to understand like how you're doing when it comes to like experience gain. You know, like out leveling something, I think it's not the best thing to like continue playing it slow. Definitely not. Ah, look at this. That's fun. I'm thinking about like sacrificing one of these searing embers for the cause of like more damage. Just put it into my weapon because like we're running around without. This is a massive upgrade. I'm gonna take it. It looks pretty cool as well. Definitely sophisticated as we're running right now, for sure. We're running around without like a weapon component. I think at the end of the day what we need is either this, the serrated spike, or there's a claw that you can form up as well. Don't really know like where you find the claw at the very beginning. But we are pretty much like killing everything we can. I think you can definitely get the claw from the cave that we entered. The poisonous cave, if you remember that place. Was not lucky with the drops whatsoever though. This guy actually ends up like giving me 2 blueprints. One of them is the Sanctuary, and the other one is the Guardsman Defender. We also have the Guardsman Hammer. This is one-hander. Let's complete this, by the way, meanwhile. Let's call this light. Next one is going to be the Sailor, and then we go Kraken. Guys, the helm drop was like incredibly lucky. This item right over here is really strong. It even gives us just a little bit of damage. Gonna bribe these guys to leave. Kental's turned back to quests now. So this is the important part. This is gonna give us like our first relic. Apparently I ended up finding a pretty good medal too in the between. That's pretty pretty lucky. Found it. No, I didn't find the talisman, and then we get to keep the bone talisman. The bone talisman is really good for the mana infusion spell. It's usually what I run on my first characters, unless I do some like unnecessary preparation before leveling. It's important to check out the Devil's Curse in NPC at like level 35. I don't necessarily know if it can get to respected with them at level 35 though. That's another question. We do still have like 3 points that we can spend into the Force Wave. I should probably like that should be what I'm supposed to be doing next, I think. For sure. Kinda spaced out on that one, as we were rushing for the Blitz afterwards. He ended up dropping a Bone Crusher. I think we're gonna keep this in the bank. It's required for like some crafts. The Master of the Arena is not there this time. I was wondering if he was gonna drop me something good, but let's just kill them. I have second thoughts about like going for Candle before going for Sailor's Guide at this point, you guys, because like Sailor's Guide was going to give me close to 10% movement speed. I think it would have been like an overall better pickup at the very start. Go for Sailors and then turn back for the Candle before Kraken. I think so. It is actually called Headhunter as well from Enge. Silas. A coat. Which isn't so bad. It actually gives me 4% experience increase. Apparently I cannot force wave up top. I don't mind. Start using that coat instead. Stormcaller, Spellblade. Amleg is asking, fewer rage worth taking on Bloody Pox or Rippy. It's extremely Rippy, but it gives you really good leveling speed at the very early on of the game. So, if you know how to avoid stuff and if you aren't playing on Veteran, you can play around with fewer rage, yes. One other way to like play it is with like making Occultist Soldier, right? So, and then go like extremely tanky Retaliation. So they attack faster to you, so you retaliate faster. But Retaliation is a little bit weird in this game at this point. It's not necessarily the best ability, unfortunately, or best spec. Why some low? Maybe Forgotten Gods is gonna show it some low. We'll see. You can charge this raise on the floor from up top. That's always a nice blitz. Squire's Greaves. It feels really good to like find blueprints from every single thing that we interact with. Honestly, not gonna lie, it's been a while. The Squire's Greaves is like movement speed boots apparently. We should be really careful with what we craft them. gonna go ahead and use these. So the Guardsman Helm, lightning resistance and armor. I think our helm is so much better. Alright, maxed out to Force Wave now. Pretty late, in fact. Let's open this chest as well. Pretty rewarding when it comes to like component drops. Charging into furnaces. I mean, nothing bad happened so far from end, so. Let's kill these guys. Gonna use the mana infusion when I'm fighting something hard from now on every single time. It's gonna give us 100% more damage for, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe? Something like that. Is there a movement ability for ranged characters? You can use the components while you're leveling especially. It's called the Rift Stone. It requires a melee weapon. And it will give you the Shadow Strike ability of Nightblade. It requires, if I'm not mistaken, it requires either level 22 or 24, something like that. Afterwards, you can use the Rift Stone for your weapon, yes. It's pretty important if you're kind of trying to level up fast enough, you know. Oh, this is a really good upgrade as well for the pants. Now, looking at my gear overall, like, I do like everything, except the fact that, like, we couldn't craft any 6 watches. That means that I'm really, really shit at, like, bleed and pierce resistance, unfortunately. And that's like the only scary part right now of our character. Otherwise it should be like a face roll at this point. My HP is good, my armor is okay-ish. My damage is obviously really good right now. It won't stay this good though. Like, most likely our damage will start falling off around like level 25-ish, I would say, 27-ish. So we'll need to find like a new weapon. We are using a level 17 weapon at the end of the day. Again, it's the same deal. Like when you're depending on your weapon this heavily, you're gonna need to optimize it every single time if you want to keep up a good pace with your leveling. And this is not the video to watch if you want to see the pace, to be honest with you. This is more of like a optimizing from the fresh start character sort of a video. If you want to see speed, it's the 150 videos that I have, definitely. It is such a different experience, that one. This is not a bad necklace for us. If I can obviously like get the spirit requirement for it, probably not. It's probably going to be really heavy spirit requirements. So fighting Cromley here, he doesn't necessarily take almost any damage at all when the Maven is open like this on him, so there's no point attacking him. I'll use the mana infusion here after Maven. Yeah, our damage is pretty good right now, guys. Definitely. Getting there. The Explorer's cover. Interesting. I wish it was the boots. The Explorer's boots is really, really cool. If you really want to try hard, in this point you can select the secondary option, which is going to end up giving you an Aether cluster. You can put the Aether cluster in one of the buttons and react to something that is going to kill you. You know, something like an oh shit button, you know what I mean? So cluster gives you 75% damage absorption, you guys. And it is like, you can check like any of my VODs, I usually have a cluster on my 7th button. That is also a W on my keyboard. And yeah, that's the button that I press on any character if I feel like I have a chance to die in that encounter. If I feel like something is going really bad. If I fuck up big time, you get the point. So it's a good idea to have like a one button for every character that you play because you can end up reacting to it a lot faster. Rockford in chat is saying, good yellow two-hander moles start showing for now new physical force characters around like level 30-ish. Level 30-ish. I really hope we will be able to like find something like green or blue till then, but we'll see. Let's turn in some quests, you guys. Maybe first all Darkovia. I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to have the repetition needed for the Royal Jelly quest. I think I don't have enough, but... Yeah, I actually do have the repetition now, but... Level 21. Hey! Maybe it was only... It was actually only 4 that was needed, not 5. That is good news. I like it. How are we doing with the devotions? 1 available. We could go with the defensive. Then take the Sailor's Guide. Now that we're going back to like Devil's Crossing, I think I'll also take away the points from my crossroads on devotion from the respect guy. Speak to Barnabas. Level 22. I'm not respected by the Devil's Crossing, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty big. So I'm taking this away. Gonna put that into like Sailor's Guide. Some physique and defensive ability. The next one is going to be like freeze and slow reduction. The third point is the important part, the movement speed. And after completing the Sailor's Guide, we could actually like take away the point from Crossroads once again. The blue node. The Royal Jelly Balm. What is that necklace? I should probably check the necklace out. Nah, it's okay. Experience increase with the pierce resistance on the helm. Skipping those experience increase nodes. Feels bad. Burn, cunning, defensive ability. I don't like my shoulders, but I don't really like any of these shoulders either. None of them are good for me. Movement speed with elemental resistance. This is pretty big. Let's keep that one. I like the one that I'm using. It's alright. Oh, look at this. We have a chipped claw that we can use on our weapon now. I think I'm going to go ahead and use it. It also gives me the ability called Slam. There's a legend that says if you put 4 slams into your action bars, they deal quadruple damage. But we'll need to test it out. Alright, so Twin Falls. Another one-shot chest in Twin Falls, and in fact this place is some place that I farm in Ultimate. Especially on my first character, because it's like really convenient and an easy location to farm. Is over here. There's going to be some bees and a beehive. And if you want, you can also pay to this guy over here, give 300 iron bits. And then send them to Devil's Crossing if you feel like doing it. I don't really think this kind of matters at all. This is the hive. And that is the one-shot chest, our exalted stash. So yeah, personally, if I'm playing on veteran and I'm caring about like optimizing my items in my character all the time, I would probably hit like every single one-shot chest place that I can think of, and that's not going to be much of a trouble, let's say. Should have definitely used the mana infusion there. Let's check if there's any other elites on the side. That was the boss of this place. There's no more elites. I see. It's okay. Back to Twin Falls. The quadruple slam meta? Yeah. One interesting thing about playing a physical character is, just like the characters, just like the players' characters, let's say, almost every single creature or like monster in this game is susceptible to physical. Physical resistance is not that easy to get. The reflect damage from this guy. Almost one-shotting myself with the slam. I like finding this forgotten passage over here. Makes it a lot easier inside the dungeon. Triple pack. If I can knock one down, that is really risky actually. Interesting. Just gonna charge out. Nice. The Ice Watcher. I'm gonna tell you what, this is something that I'm learning for the first time. Apparently, in Veteran, there's special guys as well. This is someone that I think, never fought before. Might be the case. Maven Hood is nice. This guy doesn't spawn in normal, I think. It's pretty legit. Arcanum Oil. Attack speed, we don't necessarily scale with the attack speed. Oh, how about these? Elemental resistance with like lightning damage. Kinda bad. Do I need the elemental resistance? It would actually do me good with the lightning resistance for sure. I think we can need to use these guys. For the devotion, take that. How are we doing with the Battle Shell? 2 out of 3? Need like one more Battle Shell drop so that I can make a resilient plating, and then afterwards we'll most likely be able to make a 6-wash in fact. The 6-wash will give me my first pierce and bleed resistance in the game. It is even quite late to take it right now, but like we were not prepared. But it is going alright so far. Not so many sweaty encounters. Okay, this is a really awkward layout. Hey Shishi, welcome. Same goes to Naomi. Gonna open a portal here. We'll go and take the waypoint so we don't need to run all the way from Kilrian. Welcome, Sapin. Kinda wanna sell at some point. It's getting out of hand. How many dynamites? We have 6 dynamites. We'll definitely be opening a treasure trove. Treasure trove right now is a new account. It definitely is incredibly valuable for me, simply because of the blueprints. It will definitely try to drop a blueprint every single time almost. In my hardcore account right now, there's, you know, the only reason that you would like to open a treasure trove is basically for a rare drop. Something like heart, blood, or brain, right? Those are the most valuable ones that I can get from it, and it's about like 50-50 if you get it or not, because like sometimes it just gives like a manticore eye or even nothing. Or Rington Bloom Flower, so. So we have gotten heavy boots. We have gotten something called Corruption Relic. It is sort of like important to kill as many undead as we can because of the Broadway's reputation, obviously. I haven't been paying attention to this, it's just like comes back to me now. If you would like to do the Roveri Legacy quest, the Mogrigan Devotion, later on. Nice. Increased fight sets damage. Life Eater Oil. That necklace has been like in my mind for some time now. Like I'm not really sure. I'll definitely use it. I think 27. Like gave me about like 100 HP and like Aether resistance. Yeah, let's kill these as well. I need to rep. Ectoplasm is like a really good drop as well at this point. Falcon Swoop with rank 5. But like rank 10, I think, if we can get it up to. We'll start dealing like heavy damage. Only to peasants, obviously, but still. It's going to be good clearance speed for us. Maybe I shouldn't be using the slam, no matter how many slams I have on my buys. Because my attack speed is like really questionable, so. If I'm not mistaken, there's also a hidden place right over here. Let's check out the chest inside. Alright, so we have like two options at this point. If you're feeling really squishy, I would heavily suggest you to max out the Warcry and start utilizing Warcry. If you feel like you want more damage, you will have to rush for Oleron's Rage. That's what we're gonna do. We'll try to get to the Oleron's Rage as soon as possible. And hopefully I'm gonna survive without the Warcry. I think like the riskiest encounter we had was next to the Devotion Shrine, right outside. That special monster. The Cold Caster guy. I'm pretty sure it would be quite easy if he was alone. There was like a lot of friends. He came with his pack. The helm that we're using is a cask. It drops from Cromley people if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. It's a bucket that is on fire. Yes, that's true. Kilrian is a sweaty fight, especially without any vitality resistance. He's the first guy that you meet with vitality damage. The trick is to like dodge that beam and then just go in. So another projectile, there we go. Kilrian Shattered Soul, let's get it. Nice one. That's pretty lucky. A chilled steel for this. This is gonna actually like give me my movement speed if I'm not mistaken. 8% movement speed. That will make things a little bit easier to deal with. Should definitely give us some leveling speed as well. Sapin was saying, Mala, do you use the option to move character into range when casting Force Wave? No. No. I also have the habit of like holding down shift quite a bit so that my character doesn't move at all. Chat, hit me up with what is your favorite act when you're playing a new character. At this point, I don't think so. This necklace now, we can use it, but like I don't think I'm going to. There's a lot of items. I think we're gonna need to like check them out in town all together, it looks like. Let's reach the next waypoint and I'll do so. It is going to be inside the cave really soon, so it should be okay. Yeah, holding down shift is in any RPG will make your character stand still. So it won't move, it will basically ignore. And I'm pressing it with my pinky always. Vax is saying Act 1 because it ends quickly. I mean, you don't need to put a kappa there, it's actually the case, right? And you have like a really good progression rate in Act 1 as well. Act 2 is my favorite. I think, at least. I'm not really sure. I really like Act 1 too. I want to be able to carry that as a bulwark, but we need the gold. Alright, so at this point it's really important to like go back. So I can take that out and I can give it to Kraken. Excuse me. Delugious is saying, I like Act 2, it's pretty straightforward. It used to be a nightmare way back in the day. Triple! Oh, damage is really good though. Like it. Prylik is saying, to be honest, Act 1 is, I think, my favorite. I see. Did you guys see this guy like practicing? It's an offend, it's okay. We'll be fine without picking it up. Clara was saying Act 1 is fun. It also doesn't get boring somehow, I don't know. Is that a rock eater? That's the rock eater. Guys, when you find the rock eater, this guy, it is okay to log out from your game. Okay, if you're scared. Otherwise, you're gonna need to dodge these rocks that he's throwing. And to do that, I would heavily suggest you to never get into melee range with him. He's dead. Yes. But it's alright if you don't want to kill him. Like, it, in my opinion, that is. If you're not paying attention, he can be really deadly in a second when you get hit by those rocks. Chipped claw. Vax is saying, I really dislike the undead portion of Act 2 because it can be slow when leveling. It's fine in Elite and onward, I guess. That's interesting, actually. That's my favorite part. I love killing skeletons in games. Is there like anyone like me in there? Good old skillies, man. Kids are saying, I dislike Acts 5 and 6. Yeah, I really dislike the layouts of Act 6. So I'm gonna go back because we need to sell, and I think I would definitely gain a lot of power from respeccing into Kraken. So we're gonna remove 1 point from the crossroads now that the Kraken is reachable. Put that into Kraken. Yes. So Kraken is really big at the start of the game, guys. 50% all damage increase, and then we will also have some crit damage and boom boom speed with more. If you're relying on attack speed, it has even more to offer, but unfortunately we are cast speed character here. Like, this is not so bad, but I think I want a better belt. It is definitely not too bad, but yeah. That too. Still would like a better belt, please. Pluses to all soldiers. Yes, I guess. I suppose. Some pierce resistance. Combined with the defensive ability and HP, it is a little bit better than our, like, elemental resistance here, but... Poison and fire resistance, no movement speed. But physical and trauma, I'm gonna need to use this even though it doesn't have movement speed. It's really, really convenient for my character right now. So I'm gonna think about those pens. Normally, you know me, like if you're speed leveling, like I don't care about these items, all of them are going away because in 10 levels it won't matter. No, I don't like my belts, actually, it's so annoying. I was hoping to find a better belt here. So poison pierce, bleed resistance, good armor. I'm gonna instead use this instead of those two. It doesn't give any HP, but I think it's alright. Do we have like a battle shell completion? We still don't have a battle shell completion. That feels bad. We can collect these on this side. Definitely. We go to like Smuggler's Pass. Let's get it. We'll need to be patient for multiple levels to get to the Oleron, but Oleron is going to be good. Movement speed, offensive ability, physical, trauma, and pierce damage. Literally everything that it's giving is good, so I think rushing for it is justified. I'm wondering, like, why is he running away, but... We're coming up to that point, like this is level 17, we're level 25. We should be able to find an upgrade such as that one. But that one looks like converting to gold, so I think I'm gonna stay away from it for now. I'd like to have something like that is pure fizz, if not just a little bit of like pierce as well is fine too. But pure fizz would be really cool. Like if you really want to like find something, as Rockford was suggesting in the chat, you should definitely be checking out the yellow drops as well, but it will heavily affect the speed that you're going and progressing into the game. So no. I backfired there. Nice. It's a battle shell right over here. Okay, we're gonna take a short moment. We'll try to see if we can craft ourselves a 6-watch actually and finally get some like bleed and pierce resistance. I would say that's pretty big. So we need a resilient plating. There's one, and then we need a 6-watch. There it is. It kind of consumes the only serrated spike and a resilient plating that I have, unfortunately, but we can put this into the chest piece that we have, and that will give me 18% to both bleed and pierce. It's an okay-ish. Like, it is pretty good. Like, if you can afford crafting more of these, you can definitely not care about like pierce and bleed while leveling. There's also the component called the rune stone for the helm. I think we should be able to like buy it from all Darkovian people, which I don't think we're respected yet, so we're gonna need to check that out when we are. Tainted brain matter. This was insane. So we have all damage, crit damage, or movement speed all damage. I'll take the movement speed all damage for sure, especially after like replacing those boosts that we were using earlier. We still need to find the Icrix in this cave. It's pretty close. The layout seems to be a little annoying though. Okay, the layout is really annoying. I'm gonna drop a portal here. We'll go take the waypoint. How many dynamites we have? We have 4 dynamites, you guys. At this point, if you're missing the dynamites, I would suggest you to like restart your game and run Cronley once again, the Cronley Cave. Over there, Moneybags Martin is going to drop one, and there's also one spot in the middle of the cave with 100% dynamite spawn there. So what we do here is like I'm gonna drop a portal right over here as well. Just trying to like understand where I am. Now I understood. Right here is fine. Let's go to Homestead and then we'll turn back here. You need 3 dynamites at this point. If you have like less, just reset your game after going to Homestead or something, and then you can run Cromley ones to get it. It's quite lucky that I have 4 actually. We're gonna need like 1 more dynamite left side of Homestead with a demon cave. Oops. A Crimson Heart. There's also a necklace that was waiting for me to like level up to 25 or something. Can't I use it now? This one's really good. Like, it obviously drops the experience gain that we have, but it gives me ridiculous amounts of HP. I think it's a okay trade for now. Oh, this one's even better though. Look at this thing. Elemental resistance, experience gain, HP, physical. Like, this is just really, really good. We're gonna need to use that one. So there was this amulet over here that does not necessarily give me anything defensive, but in return it's also giving +1 to soldier spells. Now when you have something like this, if you can find something like this, then your leveling kind of changes, because like you're gaining more value out of your clicks. So at this point you can consider like giving 1 point to this, giving 1 point to that, maybe even giving 1 point to this. So next level we will do that, so that like I have these like extra pluses and more value from my points. So I kind of would like that one. I definitely would like that one, and I'm kind of considering this overall, simply because like it will give me more physical and trauma damage, and on top it will give me elemental resistance as well. Quite good. So we can open an aura, the field command. I like to put my auras on the secondary tab. I don't necessarily know like what your key binding is, but this is Y on my keyboard to like swap my action bars. So I put like every single aura that I have onto the second action bar, so that I don't have a full on the first one, and then I can also like put 4 slams and be silly. PS and fire resistance with 200 armor. I think I like mine for now, it's okay. Y is the default. Alright, cheers. This is a good helm as well. Warcry +2. This is a really, really good helm. Like, if you're playing with Warcry, like, we should definitely use it. But I'm not playing with Warcry at this point. So, it is alright, I suppose. I don't know. I'm gonna sell it for now, but it's a really good item. So, this guy right over here, this is the guy that we saved before starting, like after starting Act 2. And this guy right over here, if you selected the right options, he's capable of selling ointments to you. Some of the ointments are definitely more rare than the others, such as the Aether one. The Aether one I have absolutely no resistance, but if I pop this, I'll have 25% resistance. 25% and 0%, the difference between is life or death, basically. So that was just incredible, finding this ointment from him. And what I would do is, like, when I log in my game again, or when I level up, I come back to him, and I would definitely check his inventory if there's like any relevant ointments to buy. It's definitely worth it. Pine Barrens, one of my like favorite places to go through, because it's rather fast. And it is really good experience too. Like really, really good. What do you guys think? The next level, are we putting like 3 levels into the mastery, or are we taking like military conditioning and men here as well? How greedy are we going to be? Maybe even take squad tactics, 1 point. Like, how greedy are we going to act with the War Master's Pride? I don't know. So this is one of the tricky places. Look, Pine Barrens can actually take to an hour, 15 minutes to an hour if you don't know what you're doing. So, like, I'll just show my pathing here. Obviously, it is up to you if you would like to do it this way or not. But this is my pathing. So I just hug the left side over here, as long as it's not blocked. And then I continue hugging the left until the very end, actually, almost. So like from the waypoint, I just hugged left, went under the bridge, just coming out this way. You could still continue to the left if you wanted to. So it's easier to like find your way that way. So at 1 point, I don't want to die here, just give me a second. That is actually a formidable fight. Now that is even getting worse. Yeah, this is a ridiculous fight. Alright, we're okay. That was like triple charges with 1 reflect. And since we have like okay trauma damage now, reflecting trauma is not necessarily the healthiest thing you can do to your character. So when you like hug left over here, you can call it like Act 2 for Pine Barrens if you would like. It kind of like curves down here. That's going to be the Act 2. You don't turn there. First you gotta kill the Mogara over here. So you go for Mogara first, and then you're gonna come back to that place. And Mogara will be still, you see, like still hugging the left corner of the map pretty much. On top of Mogara, you also need to get one of the Manticore Glens from these guys. Illyrian, okay. Yeah, she will be right up here. Apparently I ended up like fat fingering my Aether cluster if you pay attention to my action bar as this gun. I wonder like when I used it. That's kind of sad because that was the only Aether cluster that we have. It's sure that's going to be the case for a while. Feels bad. That's a pretty good belt. So if you want to call it like Act 1 of Pine Barrens, then you only need like 1 Poison Gland and Demogara, and then you come back to under here. And this is the other important part. So after crossing this bridge, okay, like under it, 5 points to check. One of them is directly to your left. One is this. After checking that, you go down over here. This is going to be the L. I call that the L shape over there. And you will check the corners of the L. So one there, and the other one is going to be here. So this is the second spot right there next to me. It's not there still. The third spot is going to be this shape across the L. So this stone right there, it is not there. It should have been there right next to my camera. We go back to the L now to check the corner of it. We are pretty lucky because like it's at the last spot. So this was the 4th spot. The last spot is going to be the 5th spot. And this is going to be the furthest away rock. It's like a... this rock right over here. It's like a big rock. So that's like the last spot. Let's get inside. Is that an elite? No. It's okay. That was really good that like this cave entrance ended up spawning at the last spot so that like for the sake of the video, you know? I really like it. And if you follow this pattern like every single time, you won't waste any time whatsoever. Like whatsoever in Pine Barrens, like pretty much. No Ancient Heart for me, that sucks. I'm actually sad. We have only one Ancient Heart so far, so would definitely use it. It's a bit more drops. Fine Barrens is a place that you could sort of farm Ancient Heart if you wanted to. Obviously, you do need the luck factor, but there's a lot of elites and purples that are beasts. I'm wondering if this belt is better than mine. I don't know. My belt is giving me a little bit of lifesteal. That I really like. Krylik was suggesting maximum greed, so I think we will do that. We'll take 1 point into this and 1 point into the HP and physique node, the military conditioning. And I think next level I'll put like 2 points into the mastery and 1 point into menhair as well. So just thanks to our necklace, we have gained like so many extra points. I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for that necklace. I would have just rushed for the Oleron's Rage, I think. And as I said, like, I would have definitely just went for Warcry if I was having trouble surviving. 12 points into Warcry and just use it on cooldown. The game will be so much easier to play, trust me. Blueprint DI, that's a good drop as well. Nice. You know what else is a good drop? This point right over here. 50% all damage, 15% all crit. This cave will always like make you exit at this side. This is the exit that you take. Guys, our damage is really good right now. Like, just imagine upgrading our weapon at this point. It would be insane. So it could have been like open right over there. It is closed, unfortunately, with this rock. So you're just gonna like keep on going north until you find the opening. This is the opening now. Cross. And we go for the devotion shrine here. Yeah, I want to check like all these items. But maybe at the NPC, like a vendor to sell or something, we'll see. So the next devotion point, we actually did not consider this after Kraken. I'm not going to be like maxing out Kraken unless we need the colors that it's supposed to be giving me. What else could we go for that is pretty good for my damage or my survival? Now at this point you can go for like Tortoise, for instance. It's a pretty good survival. Or like the early levels of this game. It's not necessarily the best constellation to have like later on. Sometimes like something like in ultimate difficulty, Tortoise won't help you. Like you will still die if you were gonna die. Unless you are incredibly lucky or something. It's very little. We can try and play this extremely greedy and like make our devotions going towards like Oleron or something. Something really, really beefy, physical and trauma damage. And try building up to it even from now. In my opinion, it would be acceptable. Let's see what colors Oleron requires. This is the one, right? With like, this is like heavy trauma. It looks like physical damage too, and flat physical too. So it requires purple, purple and yellow. Which unfortunately is something that I haven't even taken yet. It's funny. Purple and yellow, you say? That's a hard build up, you guys. We won't get there anytime soon. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not liking this so much. I am not liking this so much. Crab is okay as well, but like... Physical resistance with the Autumn Boar. Requires a mace. We'll most likely have an axe pretty soon, not a mace. Give me a good physical constellation that I can go for. We could also go for like valuable things like Bard's Harp, Chariots of the Dead, but I want more damage. Now I don't think I can find some. This is interesting. I'm pretty inexperienced with like physical stuff, so... physical trauma you can go for like Vire, Stone Matron, but I don't really know how good it is. It's like a physical and trauma proc, Petrify for 2 seconds, reduce target's physical damage. 20% chance when hit. Fist of Fire. Is this good? We could check it out, because like blue is a little bit more favorable for me than purple and yellow build up. I like the blue build up. Rockford was saying Oleron is great, but I prefer the blue-red side of the devotions, which allows the Bard's Harp, Chariot, Revenant, and Dying God for lots of offensive ability. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. As I said, you can hit like the valuable spots. Let's take the Panther. I think Panther is a good start here. We do something like Panther, Bard, and we worry about Vire afterwards. How about that? Okay? Guys, we had respected by Devil's Crossing. That's pretty good because we'll be able to check them out at level 35 for their items. Level 35 is the level that you check out the respected factions. And it's kind of important to like get respected with them up until then if you can. It's not the end of the world if you can't, but you can find some really, really good items. And up to that point, in my opinion, you should like try and not spend your iron bets, because there might actually be like really expensive stuff that you would like to buy from the faction NPCs. Ahoy, what's going on? Yeah, nice. The Bounty Hunters Guild. Sweet. We're going to be getting somewhat level 30, I think, out of all the quests that we have completed. This is also a one-shot, and we have a dynamite reward as well. Large Reaper's Cow. I'm gonna check all the items in Devil's Crossing really soon. So, we had like a quest over here that we didn't turn back yet. Yeah, one more 6 rush would definitely help us big time, you guys. They're like a lot like rarer, let's say, things that we can craft. Especially, I think, when we are getting like rovers respected, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna double check this. I think the runestone is the recipe being sold by them. It's respected, but I might be wrong. Yeah, runestone, there it is. It requires an Aether crystal and a ward stone. That's going to be pretty big for like your Aether resistance, elemental resistance that you can put onto your helm. It's a good helm component for leveling. Oh sure. We'll buy that soonish. Let's go back to Pine Barrens. Give the quests back. Get to level 30 maybe. Nah, it's not going to be that much, but like 29 something. There we go. It's a nice one. So that's how you do the Pine Barrens. You can definitely check the ointments once again from this guy, what he's selling. There's none this time around. Selling some buff potions. This is the point as I call Act 3 pretty much, when you reach Homestead and when you start the Homestead area. That being said, we can check the items before I call this, I suppose. The first part of this leveling. Let's see. Offense, caster offense, and a caster weapon. Really don't like any of these, even though this shows like a DPS upgrade. I don't necessarily like it so much. There's this conversions and stuff. I think we could find better. No. Hey, this is not so bad. This is definitely not bad. Survival instinct. Nice proc. Elemental resistances. Poison damage. The bounty hunter Kirtel over there. Oh yeah, we ended up finding a Wrathblade, didn't we, for level 32. That is in fact 3 levels far away. That will convert half of my physical damage into vitality. Just because of the damage numbers on it, it will most likely give me some DPS. Let me put it this way. We will be okay-ish, simply because we have all damage coming from Kraken, but it is not necessarily the best item for us, unfortunately. The extremely good part about this is that it's giving me 21% casting speed. So right now for our character it's okay-ish. It will be an upgrade over what I'm using, that's for sure though. Oh, that's it. Let's put this to the bank. And keep one more of those maces. If you're joining from YouTube, thank you very much for watching. This is going to be the part 1. I'll see you on part 2 with starting Homestead area. And we'll get to like level 32 and use this as well. Thanks dudes.